Money, money, yeah, yeah. Money, 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 yeah, yeah. Why we talk about money again? It's always a good topic to talk about, money. We could all use more money. I mean, I've said it before that saving money is the same thing as making money. And the more money you save, the better. That's definitely something you want to do. Make sure you're saving money. Because if you don't save money, then that means you don't have money. If you don't have money, then you don't have the ability to improve your life, right? You don't have the ability to invest into things that will get you where you want to be. We all want to get somewhere in life. We all want to live a life, of financial freedom. We want to live a life where, we can make that good money constantly, right? You don't want to be limited to, uh, a 9 to 5, right? The reason you do a 9 to 5, right? The reason you go to work, make money, is so that we have the money, which is a resource, and you're trying to use it to, better your life, right? You want to use it to make sure you always have shelter, you always have food, water, take care of your health, right? Eating healthy, stuff like that. Obviously, you want some form of life, right? Some type of entertainment or fun. So you definitely want to be able to make sure you can afford that stuff. But at the same time, you don't want to be in an endless cycle of every time you get money, you immediately have to spend it. Therefore, you always end up being broke. Ideally, you want to be rich. Who doesn't, right? But what you really want is um, renewable resources, basically, right? You just want to always have something. The reason you buy food is because you ate it, right? You ate the food, now it's gone. Now you need more food, right? So you got to go buy more food, which means you need more money to buy more food. But if you can make it and set it up where you always have food, right? You always have that resource, food, right? Always have the resource of water, electricity, internet, for example, or, stuff like that, technology. You want the resource of having, um, I'll say, anything you like, most people don't need that much, ironically. Most people only need, like water, electricity, food, shelter, right? That kind of stuff, just to be, happy. But then, of course, when it comes to other stuff like luxury stuff, like travels, expensive cars, things of that nature, nice looking clothing. I mean, logically, you need clothing that have function, right? That they're useful, right? You want winter clothing for winter, right? You want summer clothing for summer, and so on and so on. But at the same time, you want to make sure that that um, you're paying for quality, right? You're paying for functionality. A lot of these companies definitely want you to waste money, right? They want you to be in the endless cycle of constantly relying on needing to buy the new latest thing, right? Just like most phone companies, right? They want you to buy the new iPhone, even though your last iPhone was good enough, but they always want you to get a new one. You want to make sure you're not constantly buying. Let me try to get away from the light. Constantly buying new, constantly buying stuff, right? You want stuff to last, so it's a good idea to invest into stuff that lasts. That's why I like buying stuff like power banks, um, because anywhere I go, anywhere I travel, ironically, even if you take public transportation, I get the solar the power banks that have the solar panels on them. So even if I'm like lying at a beach or somewhere, I just pull out the power banks, right, and then just charge them in the sun. Bang, there you go, free electricity, right? That way, when I take it home, I can charge whatever I need to charge, like my cell phone, laptops, that kind of stuff. Anything else I need to power, in case I have like a table lamps. Damn, I really hate the lights back there. Let me move around. So there's lights. Anyway, power bank. Let me sit for a bit. Power bank. Um, right? You can charge whatever you need to charge. That way you're not limited to, I mean, that way you're not constantly paying for electricity, right? Not constantly paying for literally electrons moving from one side to another, right? from one electrode to another electrode, right? Science stuff. But same thing. Like when it comes to water, it'd be a good idea to get like filter. Sorry, I'm working. Filter 502 here.
Yes, sir. Interior and exterior check completed at Battle 1. Check the floors 6 down to the lower level. All units have been checked. As well as loading dock area. Battle 1 is secured at this time.
10-4. But like I was saying, you want to, get like filters, things of that nature, stuff that can filter out water. So you could try to reuse water. I also have like low flow faucets. Like there's like filters you can put on like your shower head, or you can put on your sinks and stuff like that. So that way it lets out a little bit of water. That way you don't waste a lot of water. So that way you save money on water, right? Why not? It's not that different if you got like a cheaper car, right? That gets more miles per the gallon, as they say, so that way you can save money on gas, right? Or go electric, Tesla, right? If you got the money for it. But that's the idea is ultimately we should be trying to make it where it's cheaper to live and not relying on other people to make things cheaper for us to live. But of course, making more money makes it easier to afford inflation and whatnot. But at the same time, if you're buying stuff that lasts a long time, that like a long time, that doesn't break down that easy, if you grow your own fruits and vegetables, then you always have something to eat, right? That way you're not always relying on a paycheck to eat, because you already have what you need to eat. Especially if you're eating healthy, right? If you're eating fruits and vegetables, you can grow it, right? Just, there's some vegetation back there, right? You can grow your own stuff. Let's say you live in a studio apartment, so you don't have access to a backyard, right? You don't have access to dirt. Well, you can get buckets, right? There's videos on TikTok and YouTube that where you can learn how to grow stuff on buckets and pots and stuff like that. And grow your own little own little farm. You could get like those fish tanks where like you put reptiles in and stuff like that. And instead of having reptiles, obviously you can make your own little farm in there, put a whole bunch of dirt in there, and start growing stuff in there and create your own little greenhouse inside your house, right? Inside your room. And then, grow some stuff, especially if it's stuff that you tend to eat a lot. Let's say you like tomatoes. All right, then grow your own tomatoes, right? It'll be healthier, better that way anyway, right? Because then you avoid stuff like pesticides and, other negative things like that. All right, so, two ways of thinking in life. There's the resource wealth, like being wealthy resource-wise, and being wealthy, money-wise, like most people like to think. Most people like to think, having money is the only type of wealth you can have. But it's not true, because money is just a resource, right? Money is just something you can use to get other things. So that's why it's important to try to get, other resources, right? Try to get things that can help you save money. Because saving money, like I said before, is the same thing as making money. So paying less for something as opposed to pay for more. Look for deals, look for bargains. Nothing wrong with like using coupons, for example. Nothing wrong with, looking around for things that are on sale and stuff like that, obviously, right? Why not save money? If there's opportunities for you to save money, there's opportunities for you to save money. I remember me and my friends used to like take those like McDonald's or Burger King the coupons things, and that obviously, I mean, if we're gonna eat McDonald's, right, we're gonna eat unhealthy anyway, might as well eat for less, right? Save some money on eating that stuff, even though that stuff is not good for you. Obviously it's better to eat healthier, but you get my point. Is don't waste money on stuff that's obviously wasteful. You always want to spend money on things that make you money, or at least just makes it where you don't have to keep spending money, right? Most people, they'll buy subscriptions, right? They'll buy a gym membership and never use it, right? That's a waste of money, right? They'll they'll spend money like on a car and never even use it for Uber or something like that to try to at least make some of that money back, especially for gas, right? Imagine just doing Uber just so you can afford gas money. Um, that's a way. That's something you can do, right? So you can make money obviously off of. The idea is always to try to turn everything into an asset, right? Try to turn everything into a money maker, right? If you have a good voice, right, then turn that into money. You can be a voice actor, right? You can, and it doesn't have to be like for anything special or like for like a Disney movie or anything like that. You can be a voice actor for just YouTube videos or TikTok videos, right? Um, you can, obviously do music. You could probably do like, what is it called, audiobooks, where you could like read people's books, and obviously record it, and bang, there's an audiobook. So you can make money, like I said, just even something off of even just your voice, right? You could do like intros, like in case people need intros for like their YouTube videos or something, where they need you to say something, like the epic voice guy, right? Things like that. If you're good at drawing, painting, things of that nature, you can obviously monetize that. If you're good at, even if you're good at like selling things or good at reviewing things, like you're good at being able to describe stuff very well, like be able, like you can, like you're looking at an item, let's say like a laptop, right? And you're really good at being able to point out all the important details. You're able to make it understandable, not make it all like techy and technical and scientific sounding, right? You make it sound like pretty basic, simple, stuff that maybe like for example, like if it's a gaming laptop, you obviously want to make it appealing. Be like, oh, you can play Fortnite on it, right? You can Twitch stream, right? It has enough graphics power for you to stream and not lag and all that stuff. Like these are the types of things you'll want to like do to sell it to like gamers, right? You want to get them to be like, oh, okay, that is the perfect laptop I'm looking for what I'm trying to do, right? If I'm trying to stream Fortnite or something like that. So that kind of stuff. So if you're really good at that, right, you're good at being able to hype something up, then that would be something you can get into. That would be known as like affiliate marketing, because you'll hype up a certain laptop, for example, just an example, and then you go get the affiliate link on Amazon because you become an Amazon associate, and then like I said, you make a video, right, talking about the laptop, how amazing it is, how useful it is for streaming, making money, right? Especially if you convince people, right? You point out that like, hey, you can make money with this laptop. Use this laptop, do streaming, on Twitter and stuff like that. I said Twitter, I meant Twitch, and make that money, right? So that right there is a selling point. And then you get the link from the Amazon associates, which you'll just be able to grab from Amazon, and then post it in the link, in the description area of the video. Every time people click that link, and within 24 hours they purchase that laptop after you did such a good review, you gave good, you hyped up the item, then bang, you get a certain percentage. I think it's like 10% commission or something like that. I can't remember, but you get the idea. It's like, if you're that type of person, right, you're really good at selling, convincing, promoting, whatever you want to call it, then you can obviously make that money. So that's the kind of stuff you always want to look for. What else? If you have property, let's say you own like a lot, or just like some land, you can obviously like rent it out to be used for stuff. Like you can rent it out to be used for weddings, in case somebody wants to do an outdoor wedding or something. What else? It could be just like for like barbecuing or whatever. Like it's land. Somebody's gonna want to be able to rent out some land to just be able to just do some stuff, right? Maybe be a party, or maybe like they're trying to do like some TikTok videos or something, or or they're trying to, like, maybe they're doing their own independent film or something, and they need a location. You just happen to own a really nice location that has like a lot of nice scenery. Then bang, you can make money from that. I mean, most people don't even think about stuff like that. They don't even think of like, I own this area or this land and stuff like that, or this house or whatnot, but don't even consider like maybe there'll be people who'll be interested for a nice nominal fee to use it to make videos. I remember having the idea before. I probably still do it. The idea of I know some people have done it definitely, especially in China. The idea of like having a business, right? Having basically a building with multiple rooms, and every room is like has cameras and equipment stuff like that to make videos. So then you can literally rent out these rooms, right, for people to make videos, right, TikTok videos and stuff like that. So those types of things, makes it, so you can obviously make a business, renting out a space. I remember having, that idea, like, oh yeah, you can have each room have like a different, like scenery, has different stuff like chairs and stuff that have different stuff in it, so it looks different. And people could probably come in there, do some TikTok videos, right, and stuff like that. But then I started noticing that I'm not the only one that had that idea. I see that a lot in China. Like there's in Japan specifically, there's a place. I forgot what it's called, but it's like a cosplay place. It's literally a building, multiple floors, and they have different rooms, and they have a whole bunch of cosplays, right? A whole bunch of costumes, and you can dress up, or you can bring your own costumes, and then you can rent out a room, and the room is all decorated, and and you can take pictures in there, and a lot of females use it for their cosplay stuff, for their Instagrams and whatnot, and obviously they make money from that, right? Especially if they sell posters of them wearing the costumes to their fans. So something that simple, literally you in a costume, right? Pictures of you in a costume in a nice background. You can sell that. You can sell that on a shirt. You can sell that on a poster. You can, like I said, you can make videos. So then you can make money from YouTube, right? You can, obviously post it on TikTok, right? Instagram. You can upload videos on Instagram. Just like if you take pictures, right? You take pictures from the video, photo shoot, whatever you want to call it, right? Then you can take those pictures and post it on my Instagram, right? And Twitter and all these other platforms, right? And grow your business there. It's really that simple. Something I always try to tell people is that you don't have to work that hard or that much. You could literally take one weekend, right? Take a couple hours, like 4 or 5 hours, and just produce a whole bunch of stuff. Take a whole bunch of pictures, take a whole bunch of videos. You can even take screenshots from videos. Like, let's say you just put on a camera, just record and just do a whole bunch of different stuff in front of the camera, and then screenshot, your favorite parts of the video, right? Favorite scenes from the video, and then there you go. You got pictures and video. So you got videos you can edit and post on different, social media platforms, and you got pictures that you can, obviously post on like Instagram and stuff like that. And like I said, you could turn them into posters and T-shirts and mugs and other items, merch, as they say, and make your money that way. It's really simple. It's more about being creativity than it is about like. There's two types of things. There's making money through solving problems, and there's making money through creativity. In this world, I mean, I'm definitely a fan of it, of customization. I like the idea of like customizing something. Like the irony is, for example, this is not issued to me by the company that I work for. This is my own personal thing, right? So I just bought it just because it says security on it. But everybody else that I work with don't wear one because it wasn't an issue. It's not part of our uniform. I bought it just because. It definitely makes me stand out, because when people see it, they're like, oh, okay, security. Let me talk to him. And of course, it does work in another way. Sometimes people don't want to approach me, talk to me. They try to avoid me because they see the word security on my lanyard. And I could literally just be wearing, regular clothes and just be wearing this around my neck, around my neighborhood, or, around town. And some people, give me a certain level of respect, because they see it as a form of authority, and they avoid me. So sometimes it feels like I'm a cop, just walk around minding my own business, which is nice because sometimes I just don't want to be bothered. So that's the whole point. So I don't want to be bothered. So just walk around wearing this, even when I'm not working. Most people are just like, oh, let's avoid that guy. He's a big guy with a security lanyard. Don't leave him alone. Exactly, leave me alone. But like I said, it's just the idea of like, being creative. You don't always have to solve a problem. I mean, solving problems is good because, I mean, the world definitely has a lot of problems that need to be solved. But sometimes you don't have to solve a problem. Sometimes it's just as simple as customizing, right? Something as simple as doing the same thing someone else is doing, but just do it a little different. Right? Put a little spin on it. Put your own spin on it. Trying to think of some examples for people. For example, like a headband, like you've probably seen like Naruto headbands and stuff like that. There's pre-made Naruto headbands, obviously ones that represent the that come from the anime. But imagine you create your own custom headbands where you create your own images and logos. I mean, imagine using like emojis or something like the laughing emoji or the poop emoji or something like that, and then put it on the metal part of the headband. There you go. You're part of the poop, right? Poop emoji village or something like that. Little things like that. So, sometimes just something that simple, just even turning like a joke or a meme or something like that into, something that somebody could purchase, could have, you can make money from that. Investing, saving, I say that a lot. That's very important because investing is not just like putting money in the stock market. A lot of people like to think when they hear the word investing, it means stock market. That is one thing you can invest in, not the only thing. The other thing people would think is, oh, you mean invest in real estate? You can do that, but that's not the only things you can invest in. So it's not just the stock market. It's not just real estate. Obviously, the idea of investing is putting your money into something that makes you money, which usually we call an asset. So you want to make sure you put money to work. You want to put money where money needs to be. So that way money can do what you need it to do. That's what I tend to do. So I got a couple of stuff that I've done and put money into. So I expect others to do the same. Let's see. What time is it? Oh, yeah, I think I've been here for 30 minutes. I could be here 30 minutes longer. You have other stuff to do, like make money, obviously, right? You can, obviously make products to sell, whether they be digital goods like music or software, or graphics like, digital art. Obviously, you could put digital art on anything, like clothing, posters. You can use them to make videos. You can use them to make memes, right? If you're good at making memes, that's something you can, at least use to try to get attention, and then try to sell something at the same time, right? Like if you're good at making memes, right? Let's say you make a TikTok page where you post memes, but in your link, like on your bio, right, goes to like your eBay account or some other e-commerce business, sites that you're using to try to promote or sell something. Let's say you have a podcast and it's on Spotify. Then you put the link to your Spotify, page onto your bio or your Instagram, right? And then just post a whole bunch of, memes and stuff, for example. Especially if they have to do with like what your podcast is about. Let's say your podcast is about money, so then your memes or just your posts, I should say, in general, is about money. So you're constantly, on a daily basis, posting at least once or twice a day. Something, making a post that's money related, and of course you got a link to your podcast, and of course you got to make a podcast episode. So especially if every time you make a podcast episode, you definitely want to post something just to get attention to your Instagram, right? And then hopefully they go to your link, especially if you put in the caption for them to check out the link in your bio for the podcast. So that way, this is the way you can constantly promote, consider it kind of like a commercial, right? So whenever you make a post, you always want to make sure you promote your podcast or promote whatever you're trying to promote that you're using to make money, that you make money from. So I got a couple podcasts, and I make a little bit of money from that. So I do try to promote my podcast from time to time. I have a Linktree account, account. So that lets me, post multiple links just by using one link. So that way it'd be easy for me to promote all the different things that I do and all the different things that I, make money from. That way I could keep making money. That way I could promote them really, really easily. And whenever I make a post about something, more likely somebody will check out my page and then they will click the link and then there you go. It's free for them to check it out. Obviously, right? But then they can, just go and enjoy and pay, for whatever I'm selling. Or obviously, that's another thing. Offers free stuff. Don't just like everything has to have a price on it, right? Ideally, you want everything you do to be monetized, right? You want to be able to make money from everything you do. But sometimes you got to offer some stuff for free. You got to offer some value. Not only free, right? Make sure you when you offer stuff, right? You're offering more than what you're asking in return. So if you make something to sell, right, you want to make sure that thing is viewed more valuable than what you're asking for. So if you're trying to sell something for $20, make sure that the item looks like is like worth $40. That way when somebody sees it, it's like $20. Oh man, but this looks amazing. This looks like a $40 item. But it's only 20? Well, I'm definitely interested. That's the mindset you want your customers to have, right? That's the mindset you want people to have. You don't want somebody to look at something like that looks like that's from the dollar store. That looks like it's only worth $1, and they're charging $30 for it. Bullshit, right? Sometimes sometimes you could get away with that, right? Sometimes you could get away with selling something that pretty much its value should be $1, but you could sell it for 30. So that does happen. I definitely make some pretty good money off of cards that I spent, or at least my investment per card, because I sell card games among many other things that I sell, but card games is one of the things I sell. So I definitely make more money off of things that cost me $1. So it cost me $1 to obtain them, but the end customer, they end up paying more because of supply and demand. So I was fortunate enough to get it for cheap. But if somebody else wants it, they got to pay, a finder's fee, as it were, right? They have to pay the extra price. It's like, oh, no, I don't have that many copies of this card, right? My supply of this is very, very small and limited. Not many other people got the card. So, yeah, I'm fortunate enough to have it. And this is the price, $30, and it's all yours. Like I sold 3 cards, which was a copy of the same card for $15. So I made $45 off of that real quick, off of 3 cards that were, that probably cost me like a quarter. Like if you think about it, if you like break it down, how much it cost for me to buy the box that the packs came in, and then if you do the math, the cards are probably like worth 10 cents. 15 cents, like mathematically, right? Based off of the quantity of cards in the box and how much I spent on the box, right? To get the cards. But in the secondary market, right? Online through eBay, because that's how I sold it. I sold it through eBay. The likelihood of getting those cards and finding those cards really easy is very low. So it makes it rare. So that's why I can charge $15 per each copy, even though it probably costed me about 20 cents per copy to even have them in the first place. But of course I had to buy a whole box, which means I got a whole bunch of cards that I probably won't make money from, but I did make some money off a couple cards. right? If I'm right, I think I spent like at maximum $40 per box. I probably bought like 3 boxes, so I at least made off of these 3 cards. At least I made one of my $40 back, right? So at least out of the 120 that I invested, I at least got 40 of it back, which is always good. You always want to get your initial investment back. So if I spent 120, I got to make sure I make that back. And then after that, whatever extra I make, that's profit. That's just all. That's the profit. So you always want to get your initial investment back, save that, stack that, right? Use that to invest into other stuff. But your profits, you can spend it however way you want. But I always recommend to try to put it into stuff that makes more money, or just save it for a rainy day type thing, right? Just save it for the future, because you're going to need it the older you get, the less active you're going to be physically, but you're going to still need stuff like food and shelter and water and stuff like that, and entertainment. So you want to make sure you take good care of your old ass, right? Your old self in the future. So don't neglect your future self just because you're living your best life now. It's like, trust me, when you really want to live your best life, it's when you're old ASF, right? That's when you really want to live your best life. When you're young, live, I'm not saying live a bummy life, but at least a modest, um, money saving life. Frugal is the term a lot of people like to use. Frugal, cheap, whatever you want to call it. Try not to live your best life when you're still young. Wait until you're old, like me, right? And then live your best life. Let's see. What else I could talk about? I think I'll stop this for now. I don't see that many people here. And